Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you everyone for being here and watching. The start of the evening will be public hearing.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so calling this hearing at 7:01 p.m. On Monday, May the 8th, here in the Board of Aldermen meeting room. It is a hearing on the request for a conditional use permit for Seat Coffee Company, Katie and Craig Worsherding, to have outdoor liquor consumption in the C1 Commercial District at 219 East First Street. So this will be a hearing that could be similar to a hearing or a trial in a court of law, where we will invite the applicant to come forward and say what he or she wants to say and present such exhibits as they might want to present, and copies of documents and pictures and so forth. At that time, then, of course, the board and the mayor can ask questions. After questions are asked, we can ask for questions or comments from citizens in the room to speak either for or against the application. Once all comments have been made, then the board can discuss and deliberate and take a vote on the matter, and a majority vote of the aldermen will carry as to whether the permit should be approved or denied. And if the applicant has an attorney present and they would like to speak, this will be allowed. And the hearing is also being transcribed by our court reporter who's here via Zoom. And so there will be a transcript of the hearing for anybody to review when this is finished. We have proposed exhibits from the applicant. Exhibit 1 is the conditional use permit application. And Exhibit 2 is a checklist or a copy of the checklist used by planning and zoning, indicating their review of the factors from the Herman Code that they should consider in determining whether to grant this permit. And Exhibit 3 is just a sketch or a drawing, it appears, of tables and chairs and so forth, a layout of this place. And Exhibit 4 is the affidavit of publication from the newspaper, from the Advertiser Courier. And Exhibit 5 is a copy of the notice of public hearing that was published in the paper. And Exhibit 6 is a copy of the meeting minutes of the Planning and Zoning Commission from its meeting April 20th, 2023. And you can see at that meeting, per these minutes, Mike Langio made a motion to approve the application, seconded by Norv Englert, and unanimous approval was given by the members present. And the final exhibit is the entire municipal code of the city of Herman, Missouri. Mayor Cox, do you agree to accept these exhibits into the record?
Yes, sir.
Okay, is our applicant present? Just, if you just want to describe generally what you've got going on and what you're seeking a permit for, that's fine.
I'm Katie, I'm from Seat Coffee, and we already have our cocktail space and our coffee roastery open, and we are planning to open a patio space that faces the river. It is, it's all outdoor, there's nothing under cover there, and there's a small exit to the parking area. It's all enclosed, we have a fence up right now, and then it's enclosed on two sides by a fence, and then the other two sides by the building itself.
Anybody have any questions?
Are you going to serve your drinks in like to-go cups, or are they going to be regular glasses, or?
On the patio space?
Uh-huh.
The plan is to do it in glasses. We don't really want to do the to-go cups because we don't want people feeling like they can take them to go.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
And the patio it'll only be operating during your normal hours of operation.
Correct, yeah, so that's Thursday through Sunday.
Okay. Are there any other questions? Do we have a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? You're good to go, you're approved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else, anybody else here to speak on this application? It appears not. So,
Kind of skipped that, didn't I? Because there was nobody there.
yeah,
You're efficient.
no, we're good, we're good. So we can go ahead and close the record on that one. Kim, out there in virtual land. And so then, our next application is a request going on the record then at 7:06 p.m. here at the Board of Aldermen meeting room, Herman, Missouri, as a request for a conditional use permit for TNKR LLC, Trig Render, to have outdoor liquor consumption in the C2 Highway Commercial District at 112 East 5th Street. And so like the hearing that we just had, this could have the formality of a court hearing or a court trial according to the Administrative Procedure Act. Our applicant will have an opportunity to summarize or present their case. They will have the opportunity to present evidence, the opportunity to have witnesses present and speak on their behalf. They'll have the opportunity to present photos or any other documents that they think might support their case. They have the opportunity to have an attorney present and make a presentation for them if they so desire. When they are finished, of course, the board can ask questions of the applicant. Also, the board can and should ask if there's anyone else in the room who would like to speak either in favor or against the application. Once all of that is concluded, the board may deliberate and make its decision. Whether the application is granted or denied is determined by a majority vote of those members of the Board of Aldermen who are here, which is everyone. And so proceeding, our applicant, or the city actually, has to offer some exhibits. Exhibit 1 is the conditional use permit application. Exhibit 2 is a list of the factors that were considered by the Planning and Zoning Commission in reviewing this application. The factors that are required to be reviewed by 420.730 of the code. Exhibit 3 is copies, color copies of some photographs. Exhibit 4 is the affidavit of publication from the Herman Advertiser Courier where the notice was published. And Exhibit 5 is a copy of the actual notice of public hearing. And Exhibit 6 appears to be a seating diagram with the patio and so forth. Exhibit 7 is a copy of the meeting minutes from the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting held April 20th. And Nora Bangward made the motion to approve, and Mike Langille seconded the motion, and it was unanimous among the commission members to recommend that it be approved. And then Exhibit 8 is a copy of the list of property owners within 185 feet of this property who were provided actual written notice. And Exhibit 9 would be the entire code of ordinances of the city of Herman. Mayor Cox, do you agree to accept these exhibits into the record?
Yes, sir.
Is our applicant here?
Yeah, well, thank you for having me, and I apologize for Exhibit 6, which was a very crude drawing. So, I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with the new building we put on East 5th Street right next to the bank. So, behind that building, there's a area for a patio. Patio is now surrounded by berm and some very nice landscaping, and behind the landscaping there are trellises. So what we have is about a 20-foot by 45-foot patio. We have another 6 feet deep of landscaping that makes it very clear where the boundaries are on both the east side, which is Rich Lauer's property, and on the south side, which is also Rich Lauer's property. So you'd be hard to mistake our area for another area in terms of where you can take your alcoholic beverages. So we put a lot of time and money in designing it. I think it's going to be a really nice area. I think most people will, recognize it as a place where they want to hang out and have dinner and a drink. So, questions?
Any questions?
I have one, but I don't think it's for you, Trey, but on the application, it says the building inspector says 32 people, but in the planning and zoning minutes, it says 35.
We probably will have.
35 is correct.
So this is, okay,
I checked with Michael after that. That was a
okay, so it just needs, that just needs to
miscommunication
be.
between myself and
I think we'll have seating for about 30, plus or minus. It won't be a big crowd out there. And we will have glass out there instead of plastic. I mean, people thought, well, should we have plastic so they won't fall over? We have a concrete floor inside, so anything falling on inside is going to break, anything falling outside is going to break, so we'll just deal with it.
Is your vision for the patio is to be kind of like an extension of your like table service, or is it going to be like more of a lounge?
We're pretty sure we're going to be serving food out there. So. But I can see some people just want to hang out there and have a drink and come in later. And so it depends on the weather, of course, and all kinds of stuff. But we'll make it available for eating as well as drinking. So.
Anyone else questions? Anyone in the audience have any questions? If not, do we have a motion to approve?
I move to approve the conditional use permit.
Motion's been made. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion's been second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried.
Much appreciated, and also I appreciate your all's time and investing into the city and making it run well. Thank you so much.
Have a good evening.
So that'll conclude the record. Thanks, Kim.
Okay, we'll move on now. Mayor's report, Sharps. May 3rd was Mason Day for Sergeant Mason Griffith. I was honored to read a proclamation to the family and friends and here at the office, and to recognize him on May 3rd. His badge number was 503. It was a sharp but nice service, and I think the family deeply appreciated it. On May 4th was National Day of Prayer, and I was at the Christian church and read a proclamation there. Had a little trouble because I had just been to the eye doctor. Anyway, we did pretty good there. A reminder that MyFest is coming up the 20th and 21st. Way more people will be in town than on a normal weekend, so be careful out there. And today, May 8th, is badge number 508, Adam Sullentrup Day. So I don't know, the chief and the sheriff just went this weekend. I really haven't had a chance to talk. So did you want to make any comment on update or anything for us? Or?
He's doing really good. His spirits up and everything, so it seems like everything's going really good for him. So it was a good visit to see him and his wife. So it looks like everything's going good for him.
He's making progress.
Yes.
So keep him in your thoughts and prayers, and he's got a long road ahead of him. And it's appreciated that the police chief and the sheriff and them went out to visit. And so anyway, keep him in your prayers. Okay, we'll move on to city administrator report.
Okay. You all have received your first draft of the 23-24 budget, and I've made just a couple little tweaks to it since then. I will be getting full packets out to you with all of the backup documentation later this week in preparation for our budget workshop on next Monday, the 15th at 6:30. I'll send you out a reminder prior to then, starting a little early. So we have a little extra margin of time there to go through things. But so the big packets I make, either bring those with you when you come back to the workshop, or I can just keep it here and bring it down for you then. Lead service, you've been hearing us talk about this lead copper rule for the water line service. So we knew it was going to be an expensive project, so yes, the Department of Revenue is now offering a potential grant or loan program. It is on a first come first served basis, and so our engineer Travis is working very hard. It's a pretty short form, but he has to do most of the heavy lifting, and so he's crunching some numbers, and we're hoping to actually get that submitted this week. And it is geared towards priorities given towards disadvantaged communities, which we don't fit that profile, which is actually good, but that's where most of the grant money will go to. So we still wanted to apply because they'll give different levels of grants, and then some people won't get grants at all, but they'll offer low interest loans. And so depending on how that comes back, if it's just a loan that they offer us, we can decide if that's advantageous to us or not. But we didn't want to let that opportunity get by us, so we're going to apply. And there is a resolution later on the agenda which authorizes us to do that. I thought you might be interested to know that Bonnie Prigge, who is the executive director of MRPC, she is advocating for our 8-county area with the state, the Community Development Block Grant Program. She was attending some other hearings and things, and she submitted a letter making a suggestion to them that because all of the 8 counties are suffering for affordable housing, and she was on here in her letter to say she suspects that's probably statewide, but she is asking them to return an old program which created a grant program for cities to apply for public infrastructure funds that we could then in turn use as incentives for people to develop residential housing. Back when they were doing this program, it was like $15,000 per home to put in water, sewer, electric, streets, lighting, curb and gutter. And so that was a big incentive to actually get developers to do housing, residential housing. So don't know how far that'll go, but I just wanted you to know that she's working for us and advocating for that, and I think that would be a really good thing, so definitely encouraged by that. Marlon, did you pick up your police car today?
No, I don't have time.
He just got off an airplane, but he's got a cop car, the one we ordered a year ago, and we approved it in last year's budget, ordered it in July, and it just came in, and it's sitting out there ready for you to pick up. So finally, it's here. So that's good. Pre-construction meeting, our spring and summer street projects. We are having a pre-construction meeting with the contractors on May 10th. And this is where we're going back and where we did our projects last fall with mostly the curb and gutter and putting in the new water lines. Now we're going back and we're going to re-asphalt them. So that is the 400 block of West 7th. And they're starting there on May 17th. Those are the last 2 days of school, May 17th and 18th, but be assured they're keeping Gately Street open, so that's not going to interfere with school traffic, but that's where they're starting. And then they're gonna do the 200 block of East 4th and 13th Terrace. And Riverfront Park was closed today, it's gonna be closed again tomorrow. UP came back and did the second track repairs, so it'll be closed one more day. And I think that covers it.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have no public comments. We'll move on to ordinances, sir.
All right, the first on your agenda for this evening is Bill number 2023-13, an ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of a Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission municipal and cost apportionment agreement.
So this is finally, this is in black and white, the commitment from the state for our Green Creek Bridge by Ford. So if you'll turn to the very last page where the numbers are, remember how initially they told us we need $150,000 for the aesthetics, for the pedestrian bridge and all that. No, it's come in like at $25,000, and we already have 50 saved. So, but what we didn't expect is, if you're looking down here at the bottom where it says City of Herman, aesthetic enhancements and sanitary sewer cost estimate. So, we have a main sewer line that's attached to that bridge that we have to temporarily reroute. And it's expensive, it's $49,000 to do so. But I called, we have what is called a depreciation and replacement fund in our wastewater department. And that was required by the bonds years ago. And you can use it for a limited number of things, emergencies or things that are considered one-time expenses. And so I called our bond representative, Joey McCliney, just to run this past him, if this would be an appropriate use of this money, and he said, yeah, that's the exact kind of thing that it's made for. So we won't see that coming out of our operating funds at all. It's coming out of that, that special reserve fund. So anyway, I thought that was all good news. Only 25 for the wrought iron on the bridge, and then the sewer will be covered through that special fund.
Good.
When is that getting done?
That, they still have not given us an exact date, but in 24.
All right. Do I have a motion to approve the ordinance?
I move to approve ordinance number 2347.
Motion's been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Does that need to be read twice because?
Yes, please.
Okay, I thought maybe. Please.
Sure. Bill number 2023-13 for second reading. An ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of the Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission municipal and cost apportionment agreement.
Do I have a motion to approve second reading?
I will move to approve bill number 2023-13 as second read.
Motion made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried.
Next is bill number 2023-14. It would be an ordinance to amend the municipal code of the city of Herman, Missouri to add a new chapter 216 regarding personal use marijuana. And so back in November of the election, it was decided that marijuana would be an allowed use, or personal use marijuana would be allowed under most circumstances. But cities do still have the right to place certain restrictions on that, and so that's what this is. And to give our local police department something to refer to when trying to enforce some of these regulations here regarding personal use marijuana.
Okay. Any other questions?
So you can't use this, you can't use marijuana in public. So you can't walk down the streets and, okay, or in a parking lot.
That's
or
correct, and it goes on
in
to
a
say right here in a
restaurant.
vehicle.
public
Yeah.
property.
So it's 215-1800, is that going off? Is that why that's in there?
Now, 215-1800 currently says, I should have redlined it or shown you what the difference is. It's not changing at all except for the words towards the end where it says, except as authorized by chapter 216 of this code. Okay? So a person commits the offense of possession, basically, if they are knowingly possessing marijuana or any synthetic cannabinoid. And then since we're adding chapter 216, which does provide situations where it is allowed.
Okay, so
we're
that
accepting
makes
that.
sense.
Yeah. Those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Got it.
8 or 9 words there is what's new.
Okay.
And a question on section 216.020, or F subsection. And throughout it talks about motorized vehicles. And I've noticed an influx of some scooters around town this weekend, these powered electric scooters or horse-drawn carriages. Is there something that we should be bicycles include that other than just motorized vehicles?
Man, that's up to you guys, I think. I don't know if Chief has any comments about that. I mean, under a 50cc scooter is technically a bicycle, and, you know, you don't need licenses for it. I don't know what the kind of scooters you're talking about. But there's electric assist bicycles now, those are getting.
Yeah, there was some campers in town with the little,
Yeah, scooters. Washington have a bunch of them down there, those little.
Oh, those, yeah.
Is electric, I think by ordinance says anything that's powered by a motor with an automatic transmission would be classified as a motor vehicle. But since I'd seen like 6 of them this weekend going up and down Market Street, and there is gonna be a business, you're gonna be renting those in town supposedly. We may need to be in front of it.
Well, there's other motorized form transport while it's being operated, that's a pretty broad brush.
I knew Washington had a struggle with them down there. I see they still have them, but
Well, whether they're a struggle, it depends on who you ask. Some people think they're fantastic, you know, and other people don't. Yeah,
I would call that motorized transport. Wouldn't you?
would or would
I
not?
would. I would too, but it would be a judge that would determine that. That's why I want to dot our i's, cross our t's maybe, if we do need to mention.
I think motorized transport is anything that moves without you, like providing the energy or the locomotion.
Let's get definition.
So I think we're covered.
Other than human powered. Okay. That's the only question. I think it's a good deal, and if Chief has anything, that's what we want to put in place, that he has the power that he needs.
Something like that would have to run by the prosecutors and what they would feel, but usually it has to do with motor vehicles, a car, motorcycle, vehicles like that, as far as a scooter or something like that. I don't know what they would stand on that. I mean, that's something I had to address with them and see how they feel about it and what they would do with that, so.
any other?
I do have one question. Section 216.030, the public nuisance, section A, it's talking about the smell. And I know I'm kind of sensitive to it, but I know, is tobacco also considered a public nuisance if it is lingering odors from tobacco? Are we treating this the same?
I don't think we I haven't checked, but I don't think we have an ordinance talking about smells from pipes or cigars or cigarettes being considered a noxious odor.
I was just curious. I didn't know if we were treating this the same as tobacco consumption or.
We can.
I read it here somewhere in reference to that in any public-owned property where smoking was prohibited. Don't have it under
But if you have a guest house,
you just like they
multiple units.
go to amphitheater, but it's not posted no smoking.
Well, if you have a guest house, the person who's creating the noxious odor is probably going to be gone the next night or in 2 nights.
Yeah, in section H, it says it shall be unlawful to smoke marijuana in a location where smoking tobacco is prohibited.
Right. Coincides. I'm good with it then.
Is any commercial or public place is unlawful? That's in section I, section 216.020.
Anything else?
That's good.
We have a motion.
I make a motion to approve bill number 2023-14.
Motion's been made. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion made and second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Does that need to be done, or are we okay for, okay.
No, I think whenever we can, if we can go ahead and use the 2 readings at 2 meetings policy whenever we're amending the code, then I think that's a good idea. In this way, if Chief wants to review this again, or you guys,
Yeah,
or the public,
Sure.
didn't know about it until right now and they want to come, I think that's a good idea.
In the meantime, the police have the use of the state statute to write it.
Okay, we'll move on to resolution.
All right. The first resolution, number 1331, is a resolution authorizing the issuance of space permits for the MyFest Festival.
Anybody have any questions on that? If not, do we have a motion to approve the resolution?
I move to approve resolution 1331.
Motion made, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried.
Next is resolution number 1332, a resolution authorizing the filing of an application with the Missouri Department of Natural Resources State Revolving Fund Program for loans under the Missouri Clean Water Law, Chapter 640 Revised Statutes of Missouri.
This is what the administrator was talking about earlier. Any questions? If not, do we have a motion to approve?
I move to approve resolution number 1332.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Okay, we'll move to old business. Is there any old business?
The only thing I was going to mention on the old business, classified as old business, that each of the board members, I laid pictures out. I've been contacted by our trash pickup, Tri-County. He contacted me last year too. And these are some pictures during our big trash from last weekend. 3 pictures there. The top one is just construction material, where it looked like someone had rehabbed the bathroom, tore the wall cabinets off the countertops, the sinks, drywall. That should not be included in it. And then just some other locations where you can see these are just 3 pictures. And I know last year they ran out of time to pick it up. They ran out of space to pick it up, and they're on time schedule to get to Washington to the landfill before it closes. This year they didn't get it all picked up. It's just kind of getting a little bit too heavy. Last year I noticed pickup trucks with trailers loaded down, dropping product off in yards. Not picking it up, we see that too, but these people actually brought loads in and put them on the yards of residents. And it's been brought to my attention on social media. It was out to Remember Herman has their big trash day on May 6th, bring your stuff down and put in people's yards. So this is a benefit, a real good benefit, but I think in some cases it's being abused. I know Tri-County is upset about it, and it's something I think is worthwhile. Maybe we need to define what is allowed and what should not be put out. Don't want to lose it, but some are abusing it.
I agree that maybe it's time to, when we do one of the utility things, to a reminder of what can and can't be put out. But I also think that Tri-County, if they, this one with all the building material, if they pick that up, we have that list of items that can't, or you shouldn't put out. They need to just leave it there. And refuse to pick it up.
I've seen bathtubs out there, people wheeling out a side-by-side chrome refrigerator to the streets, washers and dryers.
Appliances are included, that's okay, but what I'm saying is, tires, I don't know what the list is, but tires, construction material, paint. And if it's there, they just say sorry, and go on. And if the people get upset, they have to go by the rules. That's why we have them.
It's just, I know they're upset about it, and I think it's, appliances I think we need to look at too, because I recently bought a new washing machine. I places I bought it from charged me up to $50 to haul it away. And we have a list of people that come, we don't have the list, but on Friday night, I enjoyed seeing the pickup trucks and trailers, they's going around picking up the washer, the dryers.
Right, the scrapper.
And maybe we could put a list of those people together and let the public know that so-and-so contact there, they will come by to help pick up your used appliances, construction materials. Something to look at, maybe we can come up with some ideas by the next meeting, or we got until October for the next one. But try to, no pun intended, clean it up a little bit.
Right.
Thank you.
I agree. Okay, any other old business?
I'll bring up, just in case anybody's curious, with respect to the Port Authority. We went ahead a couple meetings ago and indicated that we'll participate with Montgomery County in their application to have this Port Authority established. Some time went by, nothing really happened. Gilmore and Bell, who is Montgomery County's law firm who's helping them put all this together, sent out proposed ordinances and documents, bylaws with respect to the Port Authority, maybe 10 days or 2 weeks ago, something like that. It was addressed to Steve Etcher, and Steve said that he was going to review it with the county and get back to him and copy me, and that hasn't happened yet. And also, it didn't include this, what we've been calling the cooperative agreement. I think their draft of the ordinance and the bylaws caught some of the things that we discussed, but not all of them. So that's, I think that's going to be on me to prepare. But the wheels are turning. I just wanted to mention that.
Okay.
And it's by no fault of the cities that it hasn't happened yet.
Very good, thank you.
I thought of something. Where are we at on the 69 volt lines?
Still stuck on easements?
There's a couple easements that have, we have got property owners have not been willing to sign yet.
So, I'll talk to Jesse, or maybe send him a note. He can call me and see what we can possibly do to get these couple property owners to give up easements. And I don't know, eminent domain was treated kind of like a dirty word in the Port Authority discussions, but it's there for a reason. And then it's like, well, do we go to the trouble and hassle and expense to condemn these strips of ground for that, or do we leave that up to Central Electric? I guess that's where we're going to have to start looking if these people don't voluntarily.
So are you saying Central Electric would do eminent domain?
Not Central.
Yeah, wasn't it Central?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because
But
if
they
we
have-
have to replace any of those, that's going to be a big expense for
Oh.
us.
Yeah. I think we're all on board as to why we're doing it, and that the project is worthwhile for that reason. And the city and Central has agreed, have agreed on all the terms. But one of the terms is we have to provide easements, and the easements that Central Electric is insisting on are broader and literally broader in terms of the size of the property than what we had before. So that's kind of the sticking point with a couple of certain people.
Not being a team player, right? Okay, any other old business? New business? Do I have anything under new business? If not, we will move to motions. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes from our last meeting?
I move to approve the April 24th minutes.
Motion's been made. Do I have a second?
Second?
Motion made and second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. We need a motion to pay the bills.
I will move that we pay those bills.
Motion's been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion's made and second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Approve a bid for lift station repairs from Vandeventer for $29,860.
I can give you a little context for that. That sounds like a lot of money, and it is. So this is for the wastewater lift station, and it's apparently, a number of years ago, we had a maintenance agreement with this company, and it got dropped. And so what they do is they do these major inspections on those lift stations, which are, they get really deep into it, which our guys can't really do. And so they discovered that these impellers are really near going out. And if they go out before we get them replaced, it causes all kinds of, I don't know the technical words, but it causes all kinds of problems. We have signed an agreement, I guess, last year with Vandevetter. And so this was their first inspection after many years, and these are the things that they found. And so even though it wasn't budgeted, we do have enough money in the budget to cover the expense, so.
Is this something we'll have to have done every year then?
The impellers,
This?
the inspection.
Inspection.
Yes, this contract will have them doing an inspection for us every year. And so what they'll do is they'll actually create a list of like priorities, things that are really coming, dangerously close to needing to be done, all the way down to just routine maintenance, they'll kind of set the schedule for us of when things need to be replaced before anything actually goes down.
But the inspection won't be 30 grand.
No,
Okay.
no, the contract is not 30 grand, it's a few thousand, but no, this is for the impellers themselves and the installation.
Okay, thank you. All set, do we have a motion?
Move to approve.
Motion's been made, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion made and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. We're gonna hire Gavin Hackman as a lifeguard, 2023 pool season.
I move to approve.
Motion's been made, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Liquor license, Missouri Trading Post, Crystal Bank holder for 09 Market Street, indoor only.
I will move to approve. Sorry. I
No,
jumped
you're
down.
fine.
So is this for like in her store?
I know, that's why I was slow on the indoor only.
Corey,
Okay.
can
You know what that's about?
It will be for her store. She had mentioned doing tastings and things like that and retail by drink. She's in the process now of going through the public hearings
For the back part.
for her back area.
Okay. May I have a motion to
This is the
approve?
indoor portion only.
Right, okay. Motion to approve?
I move to approve. Oh, you already moved it.
Yeah,
I'll second
I
it.
moved earlier.
Yeah, he did, it's all right.
I'll second it.
Motion made and second, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Moving right along. Okay, conditional use permit renewal, 108 East 13th Street LLC, Zachary and Ashley McMichael, owner, unoccupied guest house.
And the manager, Diane Heaney, is here if you have any questions.
Anybody have any questions for the young lady?
I'll make a motion to approve.
We'll see, like we should
I
have.
have a motion, do I have a second?
We can work it out. Let's grill her.
No. I don't take the trash out until the night before it comes.
Very good.
All right, I have a motion, I need a second.
I will second.
Motion made, second, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. You're good to go.
Thank you for coming.
Oh, this is so interesting.
Well, you can stay.
It's like bring your family member to work.
Conditional use permit renewal, concert hall and barrel, Alex Demi outdoor liquor consumption, 206 East First Street. I have a motion to approve that.
Any problems per the police?
There was nothing out of the ordinary for a bar that would prohibit. There was, out of all these, there were only one open container, and it was for the next one in line, and
Okay,
it was during October.
okay.
I have a motion to approve.
I'll move to approve.
Motion made, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Conditional use permit renewal, Doxy Slush, Nicholas and Brittany Renfro outdoor liquor consumption, 222 East First Street. Do I have a motion to approve that one?
Move to approve.
Motion made, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion made and second, all in favor, right?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Vehicle for hire license renewal, Wine Country Wagon Rides.
I have a question, are they allowed to, I've never seen it, I don't know if people would do it, but are they allowed to take beverages on there?
I'm assuming, but I don't know.
I mean alcoholic beverages.
Oh, well,
So,
I think there's a gray area there from horse-drawn carriages, I think, are exempt from driving while intoxicated because they all refer to motorized vehicle.
you know, I've seen them many, many times. I don't ever
I haven't
believe
either, but
I've
I'm
seen
just
anybody with
thinking-
anything. Now that you mention that.
Maybe, you know,
The driver or the horse?
the horse.
Mr. Ed,
Just,
other than, you know, he has to have the placards, the triangles and
yeah,
turn signals.
yeah, they're on top of it, I think.
Was there a discussion when we had the pedal pub earlier that the wine country did need a few things that need to become compliant in, like the placards on the back, and I think was there flashing lights they had to add that we looked into?
I don't recall, do you, Marlon?
I don't recall, I haven't seen one at night for a while, but I guess as long as they have a placard and visible lighting on the back, so nobody drives up on them.
I'm gonna say, I believe they got a flashing light on the back of that.
And turn
Thing.
signals on.
Yeah.
I think they're fine, I mean,
Because sometimes they do kind of, you know, if you got your windows up, they do kind of sneak up on you at an intersection. Otherwise,
Oh, the
I think
tails.
you're just winning.
I make a
I will move to approve.
Motion's made, do I
Second.
have a second?
I'll second.
Motion made and second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Moving on. Caterers permit Anapook Wine and My Fest event in front of 204 East 3rd Street with slushy wagon, May 20th, 2023. Do I have a motion?
I move to approve.
Now I need a second.
Second.
Motion made and second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Caterers permit Anapook Winery Wine and Jazz Fest Slushy Wagon Amphitheater, August 19th, 2023.
I move to approve.
Motion's made, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Caterers permit Anapook Winery Freedom Fest Slushy Wagon Amphitheater, July 2nd, 2023. Motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Motion's made, do I have a second?
I will second.
Motion made and second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So, caterers permit J. Rigger and Company My Fest event at 204 Schiller Street, the 20th, 21st of May, 2023.
I have one correction on here. They actually are only gonna do the Sunday, due to circumstances out of their control, so
So
only
they're
for
doing
the
the
21st.
21st? And then it says location is 231 East 5th,
At the
you said?
Amphitheater?
Oh, it's at the amphitheater.
No,
No. No, it's
originally it
it's
was
two-
gonna be at the amphitheater, but they didn't have enough vendors for the amphitheater, so they're moving them to Schiller and or Third, it looks like.
Oh, okay.
So then location will be 3rd or Schiller?
It says on here 204 Schiller Street, so I think that's correct.
Okay.
Okay. Straighten up. Do we have a motion to approve that?
I will move to approve.
Motion made, do I have a second?
Second?
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Special event application, Midwest Blue Oval Club Annual Car Show, various streets on August 11th, 4th Street from Market to Gutenberg and Schiller from 2nd to 4th Street. Request closed on August 12th through August 11th and 12th, 2023.
Make a motion to approve.
So motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Special event application for the Herman Tourism Department, National Travel and Tourism Week celebration at the Amtrak Station, March 12th, 2023.
Move to approve.
March 12th?
Yeah, 2 months ago.
Is it May 12th?
It is,
May.
it is, it's
Because mine
Friday.
has May
I was
12th.
gonna say it's, okay, should be May. You're messing with me, aren't you? So,
That one's on me, that was on me.
Okay, that one's on you.
Mine says May.
I have a
Mine says
motion,
May.
I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Okay, festival event application for the Lions Club, My Fest Kettle Corn, back lot of Worst House, May 20th and 21st, 2023. Motion to approve that.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion made, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion made, second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. No reports, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I so move.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you everyone for being here and watching.
Fred should put his glasses on.
Huh?